Hey, and welcome to Fit with Turo Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in, and now let's jump into today's episode.
Hi, and welcome to Fit with Turo Fitness Podcast. Today's episode, I have one of my good friends, Sanna, and Sanna have pretty incredible story to tell. So let's get straight into it. Thank you so much, Sanna, for taking time to share your journey. So tell a little bit first who you are and where you are from.
Thanks, and thanks for the invitation, Turo. We go way back with Turo to school times. But my name is Sanna. Let me count. This is always the most difficult part. 42 years old. I work as medical expertise at the moment. I have graduated as a nurse for almost 20 years ago. I have a child, a single parent, so one adult, one child household, and it's quite busy life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird for Sanna is originally as me from Finland, and we it's our first time to talk in English, so it's kind of weird, but you do what you gotta do, so you contacted me. It's now around 6 months ago. So then if you take us back 6 months ago, what made you decide that it was time for a change?
Yeah, what got me pushed to get in touch with you, Turo, was that some of my I'm losing words here. Liver, these lab results were too high, and I had been in contact to the healthcare, and they said that it's high. It had been high already about a year, and we have been looking at those, and sometimes they got closer to normal limits, but then got back up again. But it was not severe enough to get a real treatment, or I had some exams like ultrasound, and they were all good. But they kind of thought that maybe this is a starting metabolic kind of disease or syndrome. And that really hit me hard. I was like, no, thank you. That is not what I want for me. And that was the push for me to get in contact with you, Turo, that what can I do? Is there, because I thought that my, routine was quite good. I had exercise. My eating was about, good for what I could see. But then when we started, I realized that it was not.
And tell a little bit, like, that was the ultimate reason why you contacted, but you had also, when I started, you had some other goals as well 6 months ago. You want to share a little bit what were your goals, or wishes, what you would achieve with when you start this journey?
Sorry, can you?
Yeah, no, just the goals. You had some other goals, like you wanted to maybe lose a little bit weight. You wanted to have,
Yes,
I
yes,
think,
yes.
better
I have.
energy, if I don't remember wrong.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, when I then kind of started to look overall, not just the lab exams, I understood also that yeah, I'm a bit tired. I'm a bit, I don't have the energy to be with my son. He's now 12, but he's always been active and is active still. Um, you have to be active with your elderly parents,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt that I don't have the energy, and also I was getting to the point where my trousers were getting a bit too small, and
Mm-hmm.
I was struggling with that what is this? I have been not changing with my lifestyle, nothing dramatically. And
Mm-hmm.
still I'm gaining this weight. And I didn't feel it actually now when looking back, or then I couldn't be really honest with myself. But I didn't see the weight, you
Mm-hmm.
know. I felt it kind of, but I thought that, yeah, maybe we've come to the point that I have to live with this. I was, mentally in that
Mm-hmm.
state.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like that, when you are turning, you are over 40. This is the way how it is, and that is a normal thing. What is happening, that everything is okay. But then there was that just that lab exam, what was like kind of waking up call that wow, there is maybe something is you need to change.
Exactly, that I don't want this to get worse. I don't want this to get so
Mm-hmm.
bad that I have to get a treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to at least try to do something now, and give it a go if
Mm-hmm.
I can do some changes, and the changes that I have the resources for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was maybe the main thing.
Yeah. What kind of like I'm sure you had some kind of fears or doubts before you started coaching. Did you have what kind of fears or doubts you have, if you remember at the time?
Aha, yeah, I do. I know where you're getting at now. Yeah, I because yeah, when I got in contact with you, you said that yeah, you need strength training, and I was like, no, 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 no. I don't go to the gym. I just like to go to group classes. I love body pump. I can do more body pump if you
Mhm,
if you
mhm,
wish. But yeah, I had high fear for gym and strength training. I have never felt that it was my thing because all the machines, I don't know how they work, and you know, uh, they were not kind of. I didn't feel that they were for me. Yeah,
mhm,
that
mhm.
that was the biggest, I think. Yeah, when
Mhm.
we started.
Yeah.
And it was so nice when you said that, okay, I will keep this in mind, but please try.
Mhm.
And yeah, look where we are now.
Yeah, we go that very soon. I just want to. It's such a incredible story where we are getting, and I wanted to hear from your own voices, because those are usually like thoughts what many people are going through in their mind, like that this is not me, this is not me, I'm still okay, I'm doing okay, and then all of a sudden there happens something what gives that initial push to start it. And it's, of course, it's always so easy to kind of follow the own pattern and starting to change something if you have been doing something for several years, even decades, and then trying something new. It's very, very hard, and there is often that fear that this is not for me, I'm not that type of person. And that's why, like I said to you in the beginning, I keep it in mind, like we can always adjust things. But if you have never give it a shot, if you have never tried it, it's going to be like very hard to say that, because that how you're gonna feel. And
Yeah.
if you now, if you think back, I think it was pretty good decision to give it a shot and try how it feels.
Definitely. And I will go back, because it was like 20 to 25 years ago when I tried gym once, once meaning by like 6 months period. But keep in mind that I was going with a friend. I did not understand anything about strength training. I didn't know what to do, how to do. So, you can maybe understand that if you don't know what you're doing and you're not keen to make sure that you're doing the right things, that's going to be a disaster.
No, it's now like, I'm just thinking it's like just good metaphors. If you think like that you want to, nowadays we have all kind of plans, Google Maps, you are tourist in some big city where you have never been before, you don't have any map, you try to find places. Of course, maybe you enjoy it, maybe you see something, but if you don't have any idea what you are doing, what you are looking, there's a big chance that you are missing a lot of things. Maybe you have no idea if you find the things what actually are worth of seeing. If somebody's saying that Paris is the most beautiful city, or Rome in the world, and you go there, you have no plan what you are doing. You just stand there looking around, that there's nothing so special if you have no idea where you are going at. So, but this was in the beginning. And have you ever worked with a coach before?
No, this was my first time. So yeah, obviously I thought that, you were for me, it was easy to catch up with you, obviously, because we have a history. And that is something that maybe people also think of too much. I'm not it's not easy to share my life or my situation with somebody. I'm a bit embarrassed, obviously, being here, and it's a vulnerable state. But what my takeaway is, do it, go for it, because you need the help. Obviously, you can help yourself and you can try to learn everything while you go. But if at the start you have small resources, I think it's better to use them wisely and ask for help. Ask, can somebody help? What should I do? Because obviously that will take it to a whole another level and quicker, because that's to the point what you start to do.
Yeah, because it's I have seen it in mine. It's also with the fitness, but basically so many other areas also in life that it's for me too. It's very difficult to ask help. Like if you are person like that, do it yourself, figure it out. You're gonna figure it out. But then when you have somebody in your corner, supporting you, giving you things to do, and it's not like that. It's like I understand it. Like you said, that there is that kind of feel of shame that why I'm not able to do it alone or myself. And it's the good thing is that you can always give it a shot for everything, like, or anything, whatever you want to. If you want to go there from point A to point B, there is a path, and if you give it a shot or somebody can help you, it's like, okay, you have two possibilities. It's either you are not getting there or you are getting. And if I like to use it always like that, either you learn or you reach your goal, whatever you want to reach. And but it's very, I know that is a very challenging and hard part to initially reach out and ask that could we actually do something, and then taking that final step to actually start taking action and trusting somebody that much that is this thing, is it actually going to work for me also? Because it's not obvious. Like obviously it's if you know some quotes from social media or from personally from somewhere, or from friend, like that is usually how things are going, or how you, when you decide to with who you, because there's whole world is there is so many coaches available.
Yeah.
So there had to be some kind of trust. So what was it's such a great story. As you were never at the gym, or you didn't have a good experience at the gym. What was that kind of that first experience like?
It was hard in the beginning, obviously. It was very hard. I was, with basic things, I didn't know how much the bar weight. I didn't know how much weight I could lift because I couldn't count. But, then ask for help. And also then I was quite hesitant with the kind of how do I do things, because I didn't obviously want to break myself. So and then you just said that it's okay to start light. Don't even try to put on weight. Just learn learn how you do the trainings, and don't bother about the weights. And that was the key actually for me, because you always expect more from yourself. And the expectations are, I should be lifting this and that, and I should be doing this and that. And that list can go on and on forever. But at the start, the most important thing is to go to the gym. That's the first point.
Yeah.
And then do how you feel good. Learn, take your time basically to learn. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good part. Like it's because it's very like that. It starts with the small steps. First is either if you want to go to gym, you can start working out with weights at home also, as you did at the part also. But it says the first step is always to build that habit actually going there. If you do decide to do something, that basically doesn't matter in the beginning. You can learn first how to do exercises. Don't care about the weights what you are using. Once you get familiar with everything, it becomes easier. Then you can start to add more things, adding more weight, making it a little bit more challenging. But the first goal is always to build that habit, get rid of those old fears, and then step by step going back. And you are the very great example how fast everything can change. So what, like you said, how was your training and eating looking like 6 months ago?
Well, as I started off 6 months ago, before I got to Turo to coach me, I was going to body pump once or twice a week. And then I was, when we started, I only realized when tracking my food that shit, I'm so sorry, but how much fat was I eating? I didn't realize that all, just by looking at the plate. But then tracking down exactly what I had eaten, and then looking from the app that, okay, my fats are 150%, and I'm too low on carbs and protein. That was I couldn't believe it. I thought I was eating quite nicely.
Yes.
Yeah. But then when I realized that, okay, I have to get the fats down, the app is great for that, because you can specify what are the items on your plate that rise the fats. How can I change them? Change eat more berries, fruits for me, vegetables,
Mhm.
adding those, and basically, you know, that's basically it. And then also obviously taking care that I will get my protein target, because that was also too low.
Mhm. Yeah, it's funny what you say, like adding things, not taking things away. Like,
Yeah.
cause most people, they try to that, we all kind of know that I do this wrong. I shouldn't be doing that. I shouldn't be doing that. I have to reduce carbs, reduce treats or whatever you enjoy eating. And actually, how it works is, like you said, that you start to add things. If it's vegetables, if it's berries, if it's fruits, if it's protein, those are the most common reasons. And then when you are able to do it, suddenly things start to happen. You automatically eat something else less.
Exactly. And the craving for sugar,
Mhm.
it took a while, obviously. I think it was like a month or so. And then I just realized I don't crave for the sweets. And the evenings were the worst for me.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
when my son goes to bed, then I have the good, time to have a,
Enjoy
sweets,
yourself. Yeah.
chocolate,
Mhm.
relax and enjoy. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But when you have eaten correctly and enough, I don't have those cravings.
Mhm.
I can
Mhm.
enjoy myself without the sweets.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if you still want to have theirs, you can of course have them. And I don't know if you were like most of the people I work with, they still have those things. It's not that
Oh,
you
yes.
can't have, but automatically you eat a lot less of them.
Exactly. The amount is more, it's, a few candy. I don't
Mhm.
need the whole bag.
Mhm. Mhm.
So yeah, that was a real eye opener. I did not expect that.
Mhm.
That
So
was
that was around after a month. What one which point you started to notice some changes on how you felt, and how you looked?
um it was fairly quick, because I don't have my progress here for me at the
Mhm.
moment, but I do recall seeing because we started off around November.
Mhm.
I started feeling before Christmas,
Mhm.
so around December, so after a month or so.
Mhm.
But then came Christmas, and that was a bit hard
Mhm.
for me. Um, yeah, just for the background, I have lost my mother now almost 2 years ago.
Mhm.
So that was my second Christmas without her, but my first Christmas at home, because
Mhm.
the first Christmas my mother had passed away. Um, I was traveling, but anyhow, that was difficult time,
Mhm.
emotionally for me.
Mhm.
And then the old habits, I think, came back a bit.
Mhm.
But then, and I did struggle, because I had kind of progress with my weight. So my weight had already gone down, but then at Christmas it went a bit back up, and it was
Mhm.
a setback for me.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
was, and then the emotional stress with my mom not being here, and I could not share my special moments with her, and da da
Mhm.
da. It took almost January to get back on track, so to
Mhm.
say, and that was the hardest part for me, actually.
Mhm.
But then, whoa,
Mhm.
after February, I just keep looking at the weight, the numbers on my weight, and I was like, really? Okay. And then I started feeling that, okay, my trousers are, getting loose, and what is happening? My shoulders are widening a bit. I could see not without the pictures, obviously, thanks to you, Puro, for
Mhm.
making me take the pictures along the way. But yeah, I don't know if it's the Christmas that messed around a bit, But after that, I've been amazed every time when I go to weigh myself.
And tell a little bit about pictures, because it took for you, like I initially asked pictures, like, because I know that like I would say 99% of people don't like taking pictures from themselves with the underwear or clothes with tight clothes. And it took for a while for you to send me your first picture.
Yeah, I took the first pictures after I had worked with you for a month. So I don't have the initial pictures where to start from. So that's a small, pity that I don't have the actual, but it was a big step for me to take the pictures. I think it's the shame behind the fact that I know that I have gained weight. I know that the circumcise of my belly is too much. I know that I have the fat that I don't want. It's all those emotions. But then you were persistent. You said, send me the photos, take the photos. And luckily I started not right at the beginning, but quite early taking the pictures.
How you felt when you first took those pictures and then you saw them?
It was very hard. It was embarrassing, I would say. Yeah.
And now, 6 months after, how you feel that you took those pictures at the time?
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad because even though I can feel, I can fit into old pants, I can, I feel myself more energetic. I see what I actually told you the first time, that I don't need that much muscles, but I'd like my shoulders to show, so you can see you have shoulders.
Yeah.
So I can see them now, but only through the pictures I can see the change. I know I can see the number going down on my weight. I can see the number going down in the face, measuring. But it's not the same than pictures. Pictures, tell more than any number.
Yeah. No, because this is just there is so many like I said, 99% of people don't want to take pictures, but 6 months after, I don't know anyone who said that they regret taking pictures. So it is very, like, for most people, embarrassing point of taking pictures, but then like when you make progress, and if you don't measure it, like it happens so often that you, like, especially women, the only way to measure their weight is just the scale weight. And if something happens, like scale weight is not going, like, I don't know how much you lost. Like if I look now, it's like 8-9 kilos maybe. In 6 months, it doesn't sound like that. Wow, it's amazing weight loss. But when you see the pictures, it's like a totally different person.
Yep.
And if you would just measure with the weight your progress, most likely you would feel frustrated. You wouldn't even see that, okay, yeah, there might be now clothes are fitting, but it's just a small difference.
Yeah.
But when you have that picture next to that, what was it, like 6 months ago or 5 months ago, there you see huge difference.
Yeah. And I think actually it happened to me that even before I could see the scale going down, I could see the progress from the pictures.
Yeah.
And that was the, sign for me to go on, continue. don't stop now. The weight will, you will lose because I can see
the difference.
Difference.
Yeah, that is ultimately the only reason why you should be measuring in a different ways, like measurements, pictures, scale weight. So if there is some progress, the only goal is that you see that there is something happening. You are doing the right thing. So you should not stop, because if you don't measure it many ways, there is no progress or too little progress. Makes you feel that what is the point? I'm working so hard, but seeing so less results. So what is the point of doing? And especially like now I can tell you it's totally normal, especially when you are new with the strength training. Like it's not that you gain now within the first couple of months so much muscle mass that you are becoming bodybuilder, but it's mostly like it's maybe a little bit more water stored in your muscles while you damage your muscles during the muscle training. And to become stronger, your body needs water to repair that damaged muscle tissue that holds temporarily a little bit water. So you might not see it in scale weight right away in the beginning, but it's a matter of time before you see. And often it happens that when you are losing fat, you might not see the difference on the scale, but clothes fit differently. You see the difference in pictures. So they are all signs that now you are doing something correctly. So just keep doing whatever you are doing.
Yep.
So what happened then with your fatty liver?
I got my results. I think it was only a few weeks back. And they were, I don't even recall, but they were beyond normal.
Wow.
The lab results were totally in focus, and they were, the change was phenomenal. And actually the doctor said also that whatever you're doing, she actually asked, what have you been doing? And I said, and she was like, keep doing that, because that is definitely working and way to go. And she was giving me very nice feedback. So I'm so relieved.
Oh yeah.
And
But this
thankful.
is when you sent me those results, I was so happy. Like it's nothing away from losing weight, losing body fat, but those kind of health markers, which they are ultimately the most important things. And what can it says that I know that you have worked so hard, you have been so consistent, not perfect, but very very consistent, and not like overdoing things. Like it's 2-3 workouts per week, and just focusing, like looking what you are eating, learning from your old patterns, not taking some diet from some book and saying that I have to eat this for 5 months and then I'm in my goal. No, you looked what you were eating, made those small adjustments, and suddenly things started to happen.
Yeah. And what I also got back, back in the days, let's say 5-10 years ago, I loved to walk, but I didn't understand the meaning of walking, in both senses, what it does to my mind and what it does to my body. And I'm not also perfect there. I don't get to 10K every day, but on average, I have actually been looking at the average steps that I have been taking daily. A year ago, it was nearly 5,000 steps per day. Now it's on average 10,000.
Wow.
And that is a huge change, because for mentally, it's like meditating to me when I walk. walk. And that, it relieves stress. It's, between, my workouts, it's regaining my strength, and, it's a huge difference.
Is there anything else like how that what you have been doing now have impacted like your confidence, energy levels, or daily life? Just how you see the difference in daily life?
It's like day and night. So it was October, November in Finland. It was rainy, dark. When I started to work with you, but even before the light began to shine in here in Finland, the energy levels. I would say that having the steps was a big difference, actually, because going to train 2 times at the gym, 1 time home training, strength training, it didn't feel much of a change to me, because I was used to going to the gym. I was just doing the group classes and different things, but then having some consistency, that the energy, I'm sure obviously the strength training is a part, because obviously it feels nice when you can add on weights, you get kind of addiction to that.
When you get stronger,
you have to be a bit careful. Obviously, I keep reminding myself that I don't have to put on weights every time. I don't have to put on, when I'm lifting, more and more each week. That's not, because we are human. Today I can feel strong, but next session I can feel that my energy is a bit low, but I still go and I still do, something, and then I, alter the weights, depending on how I feel. But still, I can see the progress there, and that is, obviously that you can be proud of yourself. It feels good, and then obviously seeing the change, seeing other people seeing the change in me. Wow, what have you been doing? You look so fine. You're so happy. Of course, that gives back to you the energy. So, I do remember I was also sick when I started with you. I don't know if you recall, but I was having a flu, and I was feeling quite low, I have to say. And since then, I haven't had the flu. Knock, knock, knock. But that's pretty interesting as well.
Yeah, no, but it has like there's so many things like what you have been at least to trying to avoid it. You have raised your vegetables, berries. You have been walking, moving outside. I don't know. I could assume, I don't know, you tell me if I'm wrong, I would assume those things have helped you to improve your sleep. I don't know.
Actually, yes, it has. And I've been also, because my problem was that I had a sleep window around 8 o'clock in the evening, and I couldn't go to bed at that time because I had to take care of my son. And then you have the laundry, and then and then this and that, and then you watch something from Netflix. And what I have changed now, and that I eat my evening snack with my son around 8. And after that, I already start also preparing myself to sleep. I try to avoid my mobile phone. I know that I'm not perfect there either, but I prefer reading. I start also to get myself ready to sleep. And then I have set limit that by 11 I have to be in bed and turning out the lights. And now sometimes I start feeling tired already at 10:30. So,
It's
my
getting
sleep is better now.
Yeah, no, because those things, it's just that it's funny how you explain it, like, but it goes usually hand in hand. It's a cycle where you are in, and when you get it out, it's not that you change everything at once, but over a longer period of time, small things add to another thing that adds to another thing, and the whole circle. You in the end, you change so much, even it feels, I don't know, usually it should be feeling that basically you are not even changing that much. It's not
Yeah.
like it's very small changes what feels realistic at the moment, and then when you are doing them, huge things can happen.
Exactly. And quite in a short period of time, because obviously that is also something that I can't even now imagine that it's only been 6 months,
Yeah.
because that's exactly how I feel. I feel that I haven't done that much. I
Mhm.
haven't done that big of a change, but it's the small things that count.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and you are the best example. It's not that, of course, you have worked so hard. You
Yeah.
have been consistent. You have it's like, I don't know if you missed like maybe one or two workouts or something, but you have been keeping promises what you made to yourself. It's and that was the goal from the beginning, like that it's 2 times in a week, go to gym, do one short workout. You can adjust the times if it feels that way. But now looking your results, everything, why the hell you should be doing more if you get these kind of results by working out 2 to 3 times per week?
Yeah, definitely. And the key for me was your voice in my head saying, go to the gym, start the workout. Even though you don't finish it, just do something. And then when you go to the gym and you start, and then something happens,
Mhm.
and then you finish it.
Yeah.
That's very, and yeah, I know I haven't always finished it, but I give myself the allowance that do your strength training, you can do the cardio later, do something. That's
Mhm.
the key.
Mhm. And what about then? What surprised you most of that strength training?
That I'm not a bodybuilder.
Mhm.
Even though I have been strength training, even though I have been able to lift more weight than when I started. I'm I'm still
Mhm.
surprised that my body hasn't changed that much, because that was
Mhm.
one of my fears actually.
Mhm.
And I said
Yeah.
to you that I don't want, I don't want to have huge thighs or, huge back. And you
Mhm.
said,
I
yeah,
remember.
yeah, I know, don't worry, don't worry. And I was like, I do worry.
Yeah,
But
I
you were
know.
right.
I know, but that is like one of the things, like that. It's often you when you, especially in the beginning, that you might get it's maybe first 3 months, could be 6 months, you notice huge change, and then you think that it's going to be like this forever, that soon it's I'm going to look like a bodybuilder, and but it things will slow down. It won't be that fast, and there's always option. If you see in your pictures or in the mirror that there is a bodybuilder Sanna, you can always stop strength training, or eating even less, that your muscles are not, if you try to eat all the time in a calorie deficit and do strength training, you won't be able to see, like, muscle is a tissue, needs energy to grow, and if you don't at the same time give that enough energy to your body, it's very hard. That progress won't be fast in that time. So but it's good that you overcame your fear, and now you start to see and feel, especially feel how it impacts you. So what kind of workouts you love now? You said that you were very suspicious about strength training, and now what do you think?
Yeah, I love free weights. I don't like the machines that I know that you haven't been putting on my schedule too many, but I love to squat. I love to what's it called? Maastaveto.
Deadlift.
Deadlift. Yeah, those are my two favorites. But yeah, free weights, definitely. I love the feeling that I can control my body, because it's a full body then.
Yeah.
And I it's so cool when I can look from the app that, okay, last time I did with those weights. Okay, let's start with those. Try a bit more, a bit more, a bit more, just small plates more. And that is quite nice to have the personal bests. Not every time, obviously, not every time, and not for all, but for some. And for this week, maybe this, maybe next week, some other. But it feels so nice to also see the progress there.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's one way to measure your progress. You are getting stronger. You are able to add more weight. And I hear so many good things what you have been doing. Like I wasn't even aware of everything. But if I think that what you measure, first of all, if I make a short list, you measure your progress in many different ways. Like your weight, you take measurements, you take pictures. You started measuring your steps. Like you said that I remember when you said in the beginning that, okay, you think that you take 5,000-6,000 steps a day, then you actually started to track your steps and look how much you are actually getting steps. And then if I remember right, it was a bit less than you originally thought. You thought that, okay, you are quite active, but the truth wasn't like that. And it's because it's actually, it needs pretty much to get that 10,000 steps. If you're depending, of course, on your job and activity level, but you started to track your steps, you started to track your food, you started to see what you did actually, what you could be improving. Then you started strength training. You started to actually track your workouts. You saw like was one of the most common mistakes I see that especially with women, they don't track their workouts. And then if you when most of them, if you work out from home, you are using the same dumbbells for every single movement. And of course, it's then you might have a good workout for your shoulders, which are a little bit smaller muscle, but then for your legs or back, which are bigger muscles, they get relatively easy workout. And but when you have it like you have done it, that you track actually the weight, amount of weight, how many repetitions you are doing, and you track it, and then you can look back what you have been able to do. Let's say 5 months ago or 6 months ago, I was doing deadlift with this weight, and now I'm able to lift 20, 30, 40 kilos more, or do so many more reps. And that is also for me and so many people, it's a great motivation. And then you know that once you have become stronger, there is something you have done right.
Yeah, definitely. And I have to say also that I think the strength training has also awakened my core, because when I was walking, earlier, I didn't really concentrate that much, and then I was maybe sore on hips and whatever. But now with strength training, I have my whole body at work, and then also I can, I feel stronger in my everyday life. Yeah.
And then you talked about a little bit about mindset and shift. So how has your relationship with food, fitness, or your body, how it have changed?
Well, with food, I'm not keen on doing food. So preparing food, I mean. So I go quite easily with that. And I'm quite routine orientated. So it's easier for me to have a routine. Okay, in the morning I have my yogurt and berries. Okay, at lunch I have, if I'm at home, I have my soup, or if I'm at the office, I have a salad or whatever. And then for dinner, I want to, make something that, and I always eat the same as my son. I don't bother doing, different foods. But obviously I want that to be healthy and want to concentrate that I get my proteins. Then for evening snack, I have my shake, So it's very routine orientated, and I love it. It's easy for me. I don't have to think every time, what should I, at what time, because when I have a routine, I feel hungry enough to eat, and also the snack between lunch and dinner, that was the key for me, because I like to eat 5 times a day to get all my especially protein target to get filled. And I was missing before we started. I was eating only 4 times. So that was already one, portion less for protein.
Yeah.
But yeah, for confidence, it's. I don't know if I can even explain it. The feeling is just so good. I feel so good about myself. I feel happy. I feel energetic.
I'm so proud of you. You have done so many amazing things, worked so hard. So it's these kind of stories. It's if I think myself as a coach, it's the biggest satisfaction what as a coach you can get when somebody really changes their life in a different way. You are first of all those health markers. They have improved quality of life. More energy, able to do things like you are now, what you told earlier, you are bicycling, doing a lot of different things what were not possible earlier. And those are just amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
So what is, how does now progress, what does progress mean to you now or versus when you started?
When we started, I was more focused on my weight and obviously the labs. And now it's consistency on my steps. It's consistency on my training. Yeah.
But
maybe those are the most,
yeah, but it's also a great example. Like first, you were focused on end results, what you would like to get. And now you are focusing on actions, what actually brings you those results, what you have ultimately achieved everything. And that is a huge mindset shift. So congratulations. You have done, like I said, so many amazing things that it's incredible. So
and couldn't have not done that without you. So thank you.
No, thank you. I didn't do any workout for you, so it's you have done it all by yourself. But what you would say, like now for someone like we have been talking on an hour, I don't want to keep you longer. What you would say to someone who you were like you were 6 months ago? What you would tell to that person or to yourself at the 6 months ago?
Don't be afraid, or don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid of embarrassment, actually, because life is life. Things happen. Life happens. But if you let that happen, if you just, if you let it be, that's the worst thing. Take in charge. Start doing the things that you can find yourself happy.
Wow.
And ask for help if you don't know how to start yourself. Ask for help. And that is, as you said earlier, it's in everyday life. If you struggle at your taking care of your kids or whatever, ask for help. That's why people that are close to you are for. They're here to help.
So what is then next in your journey? What goals you have now?
Just keeping on. I think I found good things in my life, that add on health, eating healthier, moving, keeping your mind clear, doing your strength exercise. That is also I have to be very focused when I'm doing the strength exercise. And that is so rewarding. After you're done, you feel the energy burst. I know that that's a lot of physics as well, but still, it's mind blowing. And then you've done your workout. Then you have time, because obviously time for the people who are close to you, your family. You have time and energy for them when you give the time for you first.
Yeah, that is such good advice, and that is for so many people that it feels like that you are selfish when you take time for yourself, but you are actually not selfish taking time for yourself, because in that way you can serve the others even better.
Exactly.
And what are you most proud of? Last question from this journey.
Oh my God, this is most proud of. I'm most proud of that I started the journey, actually.
Wow.
That I started and that I continued, even though I had, and everyone struggles. That's normal.
Yeah.
As said, life happens, but just keep going. Yeah. Wow. Start and keep going.
Thank you, Sanna. That was such fun to talk with you, to go back to your journey. And I don't know if you have if you want to social media, I can put everything. If you have something you want to share, feel free to do it. If not, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. And if you enjoyed this episode, please leave 5-star review. And those are helping so much to find more people to find this show. And if you know some person who would love to hear this Sanna story, feel free to share it with one friend. And I would appreciate it. Thank you so much for listening, and talk soon.
Hold up, friend. Do you love Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast.